Hey guys, welcome back to UK Foundation. This is Kavya. Today we are going to do chapter 8, how do organisms reproduce. In the previous video we did up to 12th question. Today we will start on with the 13th question. If anyone didn't see the previous video, you will get the link in the description. You can go through it. Vegetative propagation refers to formation of new plants from. So now what is vegetative propagation? See, in many plants, the parts like stem, root and leaves develop into a new plants. Over here, there is no role of reproductive organs. There is no role of reproductive organs, right? So in this vegetative propagation, we have two types. One is natural and other is artificial. In natural, things occur naturally. Like in the name only, it's there, natural. So over here, the parts which take place are also stem, root and leaves. So example can be bryophyllum. It's a leaf name which have the baby plants at the margin of the leaves. So this grow up into a new individual. So this is example for a leaf. And for root, you can take sweet potato. This is also natural. That's simple, the natural is. We'll come back to artificial vegetative propagation. In artificial vegetative propagation, we have four. We'll discuss one by one. First one is cutting. Yeah. In this, a part of a stem. So, example is sugar cane you take. Let's take a sugar cane. And a part of a stem is cut. And then buried into a soil. A moist soil, partially buried. And this grows up. That's it. Easy. It's just stem cutting also, you can say. Examples are even mango, lychee, lemon, rose. So this and all you have been seeing in your natural life. In your life. But you just don't know the names. We'll go for the next one. That is layering. In this, the stem of a plant. So we'll take a plant. So one of the stem of a plant is bent down until it touches the ground. This is one of the stem, we'll imagine. This is the soil. Yeah. So this is the soil. Now it is bent down and buried lightly, partially under the soil. And now this part, so let's take this in another color, yeah, the stem, which is buried. This is the top layer of the soil. So this is buried, this is inside the soil. So this will start developing the roots. After it develops the root, this is detached from the parent plant. So this is the process of layering. Example can be jasmine, rose and lemon. So layering is easy. Once again, yeah. We'll go for the next one, that is grafting. In this, it's actually very easy. There are two plants you take. I'll take another color. Yeah. Two plants. These are the leaves of it. Just imagine. It doesn't look like that much. And yeah. So in this, suppose this part of a, this is A and this is B. In a plant A, if this dries up and it doesn't produce proper buds or flowers, suppose it's a flowering plant, it doesn't produce proper flowers, so it's of no use for you. At that case, and over here the roots are weak or you cut off the roots by mistake, what you can do is, let me clear up. Yeah, this was the plant A and this is the plant B will take. Now you take plant A's stem to the root part and plant B's the topper part. So just divide it into two. So this is what you have, the two parts. And now you make a V shape in this and just have a strike in this. Now this will be inserted here. Nothing but it forms something like this. This is the plant A and this would be the plant B. That's it. And now this both later on develops into a single plant only. It grows as a single plant and gives you, see, this was producing buds and this wasn't, and the roots of this wasn't proper. Now roots are proper and it produced proper flowers, right? It grows up as a single plant now. So when you do this process, the place where it is getting attached will be wrapped up with a grafting wax. That's it. So this process is called grafting. Next is air layering. In air layering, if this is the stem, you just cut up the stem up lightly and then cover it with a plastic wrapper. Simple. You just cover it with a plastic wrapper and later on this grows roots. In the sense, in the plastic wrapper you just put a bit soil and then wrap it up here. I'll take another color. Let me draw it once more. Sorry. Yeah, this was the stem and you just cut a small part of it. And you wrapped it with a wrapper and you just have to put a little soil in the wrapper and then wrap it up here properly. This will grow roots and then you can detach it from the parent plant. And next, this is an individual plant. So over here you can see that there's no reproductive organ or nothing but gametes involved. This and all are produced due to the parts of the plant like stem, roots and leaves. So that's what they asked, what are the plants? So the answer is B. Next, 14th question. The factors responsible for the rapid spread of bread mold on slices. So these are the pores present. So there are many pores where this, like, it produces in multiple individuals, right? And what are the favorable conditions for it to grow? The favorable conditions are moisture, right? And the nutrition required also are there in the bread. And this won't get this will be protected with a cover or a shield which doesn't get opened until there are favorable conditions. So this will be protecting them in the harmful conditions, right? So there are large number of pores. That is the main thing why there are rapidly spreading off. And next is the moisture. That is a favorable condition, and you have nutrition, what more is required. And shape of a spirogyria, it doesn't matter really if it was a square or rectangle also. Next, branch hyphae, it is not even involved, it's not even playing a role in it. So the answer is the large number of spores and availability of moisture and nutrients. That is nothing but C, 1 and 2. Next, length of a pollen tube depends on the distance of. What was the pollen tube? If this is the stigma, this is the ovary, this was the pollen grain. The pollen grains will produce a tube until the ovule. So this tube is called pollen tube. What is the length? It's from the upper part of the stigma to the ovule. So pollen grain on the upper surface of the stigma and the ovule. B is the answer. We'll go for the next question. Which of the following statements are true for flowers? Flowers are always bisexual. Oh, the question is covered once again. Yeah. Which of the following statements are true for flowers? Flowers are always bisexual. They are sexually reproductive organs. They are produced in all groups of plants. After fertilization, they give rise to fruits. Okay. They're always bisexual. It means that, what is bisexual and unisexual? I said it in the previous video, but I'll just repeat it. These are the flowers. Unisexual flower in the sense it either contain pistil or stigma. Pistil or stamen. What is pistil? Pistil is the female part. What are the parts present in pistil again? Stigma, style, and ovary. All together is called pistil. And what is stamen? Stamen is nothing but anther and filament. So either pistil or stamen is present in a flower, then it's called unisexual. What is bisexual? If both the parts, pistil and stamen, are present, then it is called bisexual. Pistil and stamen. Okay. So this is called bisexual. Flowers are always bisexual. No, there are unisexual flowers also. So this is wrong. Next, they are the sexual reproductive organs. True. They are produced in all group of plants. No, flowers are not produced in all group of plants. You can take example to be sugarcane. The sugarcane produce flower? No. Right? Next, after fertilization, they give rise to fruits. Obviously, what is fertilization? Fusion of male gamete and female gamete is called fertilization. What forms? Zygote. Zygote will develop into an embryo. Embryo later on develops into a fruit. Right? So 4 is also 2. 2 and 4. D. Next question. Which among the following statements are true for unisexual flowers? We just now discussed what a unisexual flower. They either contain pistil or stamen. So they possess both stamen and pistil. No. If they possess both stamen and pistil, then they are called bisexual. Bisexual. Next, they possess either stamen or pistil. True. They exhibit cross-pollination. So now, what is self-pollination and cross-pollination? I've been discussing in the previous video, but I'll just give a small introduction about it. Cross-pollination is nothing but two flowers are involved and one have the pistil and one have the stamen. So the pollen grains present on the anther of the stamen will stick to the stigma of the other flower. This is called cross-pollination. As these are unisexual, there is no possibility of self-pollination. What is self-pollination? A bisexual flower which contains a pistil and the stamen is called bisexual flower. Now the pollen grain on the anther will go sit or stick to the stigma of the same flower. This is self-pollination. But in unisexual flowers, this is not possible, as a unisexual flower will have either pistil or stamen. Right? So only cross-pollination happens. So they exhibit cross-pollination. Unisexual flowers possess only stamens, cannot produce fruits. Okay. Now you have a flower, it have a pistil, and other flower which have stamen. Now what develops, or in which part does a fruit get developed? In the ovary, because of the ovule, right? So the part which contain ovary is nothing but pistil, right? Now in anther you have the pollen grain, that is the male gamete, and in the pistil you have ovule, which is the female gamete, right? So which can produce fruit? Obviously a flower, a unisexual flower which is having pistil, right? So what does the statement say? A unisexual flower possessing only stamens cannot produce fruits. True, right? They cannot produce fruits. Only the flower which contain pistil can. So what were the options? 2, 3 and 4. B. We'll go for the next question. Which among the following statements are true for sexual reproduction and flowering? Okay, I'm sorry. Once again. Yeah. Which among the following statements are true for sexual reproduction and flowering plants? Okay, in flowering plants, sexual reproduction in the sense it is involvement of two parents. One is male and female. In that case, obviously two gametes involved. One is male gamete and other is female gamete. It requires two type of gametes too. Fertilization is a compulsory event. So you take a flower, then fusion of male gamete and female gamete is only called fertilization. I think so. I repeated many times this one. Everyone have to be clear with it. So in sexual reproduction, obviously fertilization is a compulsory event. Then only you can have a fruit. So two is also true. Two is also true. Wow. Next, third one. I'm not even able to see third option. Yeah. Third one. It always results in formation of zygote. When fertilization happens, always a zygote will be formed. That's so obvious, right? Fertilization, after fertilization, only zygote will be formed. And if anyone didn't understand, this is not good. I'm saying because I repeated many times. Let me repeat once more. This is the last and final time I'm repeating. What is fertilization? Fusion of male and female gamete. That is called fertilization. After fusion, what will be formed? Zygote. After zygote, will just get developed and form embryo. Embryo to a fruit. In this fruit only there will be seeds, seedling. There are more than 2 questions, I guess, which need this explanation. This was simple. Offspring formed are clones. So now what are clones? See, clones are nothing but it's just in that actually occurs. Clones. This is actually produced in a sexual mode of reproduction because the new plant will be exactly same as the original parent, right? If it is exactly same, we read in the we saw it in the previous video or the previous questions which we solved that a sexual reproduction in a sexual reproduction the individual is having a lot of similarities to the parent compared to sexual, because in sexual there are two parents, so it doesn't have too much similarity, but in a sexual the similarity is more, right? Same way when they have the exact similarity, like exact, then it's called clones. So this is an asexual, and we know that in flowers it's a sexual plant. There's clearly mentioned in a sexual reproduction, in sexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction you can't get an exact one, so offspring formed are not clones, right? Once again, yeah, are not clones. So this option is wrong. Correct is 1, 2 and 3. So what is the answer? C. My bad. Once again, yeah. In the figure 8.1, the paths A, B, C are okay. Let me zoom in. Yep. So in this, what is A, B and C? A is nothing but plumule, cotyledon, and this is nothing but radicle. Now how do you remember it? C. Wait. The C part is the root tip. Okay, root tip. And the A part is the shoot tip. Shoot tip. Now what is root tip and shoot tip? It's nothing but this part later on grows into a root, and this one. And this A part will grow into a plant. So this is going upwards. This will go downwards. Down is obviously the root, so this is root tip and this is the shoot tip. So what does this happen? Usually what do you call plant? This only, you see the upper plant. Plant. This is plant. And these are the roots. R for roots. This is called root tip. So this is called radicle. Simple to remember. And this is the shoot tip. Remember it's plumule. And this is cotyledon. Yeah. A will further grow up into a shoot tip, nothing but a plant which will be having stem, leaves, flowers, fruits. And C is a root tip, nothing but grows into a roots. Answer is C. Next question. 20. Offspring formed as a result of sexual reproduction exhibit more variations. Because why does it exhibit more variation? See, sexual reproduction is a lengthy process. Does it seriously depend? No, right? Genetic materials come from two parents from the same species. Genetic material comes from two parents of different species. Genetic material comes from many parents. Okay. So in sexual reproduction, we know that there are involvement of two parents. So each will be giving their own characteristics for the new individual formed through the gametes, right? So the genetic material present in this gametes only, nothing but in chromosomes, gene. So that will be creating variation in the a lot of variation in the individual compared to the asexual, because in asexual there's only one parent and there will be no gametes involvement, and sexual there will be gametes involvement, and that's the reason the individual formed will be very similar to the parent, very similar, nothing but you can say identical. So what is the answer? Genetic material comes from two parents. It's not C, it's B, sorry. From the same species. Obviously, it's not different species, right? Like, for example, you can take not elephant and an ant can't, those you can't take those both as parents and give reproduction to a new one. New individual cannot be formed. Okay. So answer is B. It's the same species and comes from many parents. No. 21. Sorry. Once again. Yeah. Reproduction is essential for living organism in order to keep the individual organism alive. To keep the individual organism alive, the other life processes are needed like nutrition, excretion, so on so. Next, fulfill the energy requirement, no, maintain the growth, no, continue the species generation after generation. So we'll just talk about the D option. Continue the species. Oh my god, why is this? Yeah. Continue the species generation after generation. Suppose we didn't have the process called reproduction. So how were you born? Did you even know, okay, this is elephant, this is ant, this is cow, this is giraffe? No, because if they didn't have any reproduction, in that case there won't be a continuation of those species. So the species used to not exist. So for generation to generation, you can't identify what species were there in this generation. So to continue the species generation after generation, the reproduction is essential for living organisms. Yeah. We'll go for the next question. During adolescence, several changes occur in human body. Mark one change associated with sexual maturation in boys. Now, what is adolescence? Adolescence is nothing but when you're getting what can you say? Yeah, when you're just getting matured, or something like you're getting ready for reproduction. So there will be a special changes at that time. Not like losing your milk teeth and all will be, that's not called adolescence, right? So in this, mainly what are the changes occurs are air growth. Not AIR, it's HAIR. Hair growth. So this hair will grow in some parts of the body like armpits and chest. Next, you can take is cracking of voice. I think so you could observe like your classmates of boys, or if you're a boy, you yourself, your voice will change after a particular standard, something like ninth or 8th. There will be a rough voice created. And next, as skin becomes oily and you get those pimples. So what is the option? It's obviously not losing of milk teeth, not increasing of height, because from the birth you start increasing your height. And losing of milk teeth, obviously not. Weight gain, if you eat more you will gain your weight. So cracking of voice, that's so obvious. If you eat more you will gain weight here. 23. In human females, an event that reflects onset of reproductive phases. Okay, good question. You will get confused between the C. In 22, they asked the changes with sexual maturation happens. What does happen? Well, sexual maturation is happening. Okay. But over here, they asked onset reflects onset of reproductive phase. In the sense, the individual is having a capability of reproduction. Okay, these two are different. See, if they ask what are the sexual maturation in girls, like what are the changes occurring, at that case, there will be growth of the body, in the sense, not whole body, but the breast size will increase. Next, hair growth will happen under armpits, and there will be change in voice, like pitch increases, in fact, and maturation also happen. But which of this will reflect the onset reproduction is maturation. In maturation only, the egg will be produced. One by one egg will be produced each and every month, right? So when this is produced, only it means that the individual is ready for reproduction. We'll go for the next question. Okay, I didn't say the which answer, so answer is D. Mensuration. We'll go for the next question, 24. How many questions are there? Okay, only 27. Cool. We'll finish it today only. In human males, the testes lie in scrotum because it helps in. Okay, actually the scrotum is produced. Suppose this is the body and scrotum is out of our body to maintain the temperature. So the scrotum will form, that is nothing but formation of sperms, produce sperms. For formation of sperms, it needs the lower temperature than our body temperature. That's the reason it stays outside. I mean, it's outside. So answer is B, formation of sperm. Easy transfer of gametes, no. For easy transfer of gametes, there are the enzymes produced so that they'll just flow through it. It's not like that. And process of mating, no. Process of mating happens. Which among the following is not the function of testis at puberty? Okay. Formation of germ cells. Testis is the one which is producing the germ cell. That is nothing but sperm. Next, secretion of testosterone. Development of placenta. Development of placenta. First of all, what is placenta? Placenta is a tissue which is connecting the embryo to the mother. This happens while the individual is in a pregnancy, like a woman is pregnancy. In that time, there will be a placenta formation, nothing but it's a tissue which is connecting embryo to the mother. This will be supplying the nutritions. Okay, nutritions. So this is in females, not a process of testis. And next, secretion of estrogen happens in the females. So 3 and 4. C. Next, 26. The correct sequence of organs in the male reproductive system for transport of sperm is. Okay. So where is the sperm formed? In the testis, that which is in scrotum. Over here, the sperm is produced. Next, I'm not sure. I can't give a perfect diagram. This will be the vasa difference. So by this, the sperm passes, and don't get confused between urethra and ureter. Testis, this is vasa difference, and let's take this to be the urinary bladder. The one which is urine is passed into the urinary bladder is called ureter. And next, there is a common passage for urine and the sperm. Okay, so this one which is passing the urine out of the urinary bladder is called urethra. Wait, let me make it clear. This is the urinary bladder. I'll put it in a different color. Urinary bladder. And this is ureter. Ureter is nothing but passing the urine from the body to the urinary bladder. And next is passing out the urine. From urinary bladder, the urine is passing out through urethra. And there's a common passage for sperm and the urine. So first the sperm is formed in testes, then the vasa are different. Let me take another color, man. Yeah. Sperm is there in testes. Next, the vasa difference. Next, through the urethra. This is ureter. This is urethra. Simple. So the answer would be testis, vasa deferens, urethra. What happens if it goes through ureter? It goes back into you. It stays into you. It comes out from the mouth. Sorry for it, but just a joke. Next. Which among the following disease is not sexually transmitted? Syphilis is sexually transmitted, HIV, AIDS, and gonorrhea. Now, what is hepatitis? So that is nothing but that passes when the food or the water is contaminated. Then only this disease occurs. So it's not sexually. So the answer which is not sexually. So it's B. So that's it for today, guys, and we completed MCQ successfully. In the next video, we'll be doing short answers.